Hey, it's time for Discoveries with Dee. That's me. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 3, and we are going to review the Peacock show, All Her Fault. It was recommended to me by one of my lovely subscribers, my other channel, Dish with Dee, and she recommended it to me Sunday, and I think it's 8 episodes or 10 episodes. I finished it. And what is today? Wednesday. Yeah, it was that good. It follows the story of a kidnapped little boy named Milo and his family and all that. I tell you, the more twists and turns that movie took, each time I'm like, oh, I think he did. Oh, I think she did. I think he did. I think she did. I think they both did it. Okay. I love a good show that you really don't know the story until the very end. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I swear these little mini series, you want to call them, shows are really doing well. They're really giving it to us, and I'm a mystery buff. I love mysteries. I love to think. I love to listen. You have to listen and pay attention to all the clues, and sometimes they give you Easter eggs. You just don't know. But spoilers, if you've not seen it yet, don't watch this video any further because we're going to talk about what happened. So come back after you watch it and then let me know what you think. Okay, let's get started. So the show opens with Marissa Irvine, which is the woman, I guess the mother of Milo. She goes to pick him up from what said play date that she thought she had with Jenny. And she arrives at the house. That's how it opens. And the woman's like, who are you? And I don't have your kid. And I don't know who you're talking about. This woman knew nothing about anything. She was like, so they get in touch with Jenny. Jenny never sent her the text. The text never came from Jenny. It came from, they didn't know at the time where it came from, but it didn't come from Jenny. So again, you're thinking, is she involved? Because, I would, So then as time goes on, they figure out that Jenny's, au pair, her name is Carrie, was the one that picked up Milo from school. So we know that Carrie kidnapped Milo. Now Milo thinks he's on vacation. He's got no clue. He's having a ball. And then as the story unfolds, they check out Marissa's au pair. She doesn't, she kind of I guess you'd say she's got a little bit of I don't say a language, but she's Spanish. And so she has a little bit of an accent. And she kind of doesn't say a lot, which she probably should have, about what she knows about Carrie. Actually, she doesn't even know her. But you find out a few episodes down that they chatted a lot. And then she finally comes clean and says, yeah, Carrie was, they were friends and they hang out. And it's funny how they found out that they hung out. It was all about receipts at this ice cream place, and where the kid wanted a cake. It was just, it just kind of was like going, oh my gosh, because you didn't see any of that. So she was asking her about, asking about Milo and different things about his routines and stuff like that. So she got what the kid likes and yada, yada, yada. So you're like, oh my God. And the whole time, to me, the whole time I kept thinking that Jenny was involved, the friend who she originally had the play date with. For some unknown reason, I just had a feeling it was her, and you kind of, like I said, you bounce back and forth. The detective was fantastic. They had 2 detectives. The one was the more focal point of the investigation. Fabulous. And the husband is Peter. Marissa's husband, Peter, has 2 siblings, Lisa and Daniel. And he lives with him. They have this it's all about privilege. The story starts out that this kid was taken because of privilege, that they are loaded, and you find out they're really not, because Marissa's business that she has with Colin, winds up being, you find out, you think he's great in the beginning, and then you find out he's had some kind of gambling issues. He's doing something with the money in the company. So you think, oh my God, he did something. He sold the kid out, I'm telling you, there's more twists and turns than a spaghetti highway. So then you find out that Peter's sister Leah is involved with Colin, which Peter was not too fond of that. It is what it is, let your sister be. But he likes to have a hold over his family, like his 2 siblings. Basically, it's all about control with him, which is interesting when you start seeing the dynamic and you think he did something. And he's getting weird phone calls, weird texts that you're not really seeing. You just kind of hear one side of the conversation. You're not really sure what they are. But it can't be good because he's not telling anybody. So they kept, the detective's like, you didn't get any ransom? She's like, no. And then back and forth. And they're trying to find out Carrie's boyfriend. You don't get her full story till like the second to the last episode, and you find out her backstory, and that's, of course, very helpful, and why she took Milo. And you're never going to believe it. I literally was like, because when we first meet Carrie, she's pregnant. She's like 8 months pregnant. She's with her boyfriend who they find, who winds up going to jail for some kind of drug deal or something. So you see her, fast forward to her being upset that he got taken to jail, and then she's in the hospital crying. I thought she lost the baby. That's what because they're not really telling you much. You just know she doesn't have this baby anymore. And she's crying and upset, and she goes back to live with her mother. Come to find out that she did have the baby. Baby was perfect. She was leaving the hospital, coming home, and had a car accident, and the baby was killed. So she thought. Then you come to find out that she had the car accident with Marissa and Peter and their baby. And you're going like, well, that's an interesting coincidence. But they did. Well, all the women are knocked unconscious, except Peter. Peter's not. And the baby, Marissa and Peter's baby, died in the accident. Their car flipped. Like it was, I don't know how. Because at the very beginning of the show, you see she's got the scar, but it's never mentioned. You just see it. Foreshadowing, of course. So then he's crying because his baby's, passed away, and he calls for help, and they're on their way, and then he hears the baby crying. It's Carrie's baby. Now, Carrie goes by a different name at this point. She changed her name to Carrie. You'll find out why. That's why they didn't know it was her, because she was using this name, Carrie Finch, which was not her real name. Her real name was, I think, Rose something. So he goes over to the car. Now, he thought she was dead, so he says. So he sees this beautiful baby boy. Who's going to know? He swaps the babies out. So you think to yourself, well, how did Carrie even, because at the last episode, Carrie comes blazing because they get the kid back. And how they get the kid back is hilarious because, you don't see it. You see it in flashbacks. But Peter was making a deal with Carrie's dad for ransom. So when he went to pay him, he wound up killing the dad and taking the kid with him. But then he puts the kid in a car. I mean, this is like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, who writes this? It's fantastic. So they said they found the kid, just on the, in a car in some parking lot. And he comes home and, Peter never lets on that he was there, never lets on anything, but she finds out. And then Carrie comes back because she wanted to buy the kid a cake and to find out that her dad's dead and the kid is gone. So she literally loses her shit, which as she should when you find out why. So then she goes to their house with a gun, to get the kid. And then she proceeds to tell Marissa that it's her son. So Marissa thinks she's just delusional. And then when she said her name, she knew the name because she remembered the girl from the accident. And she didn't know that there was a baby in the car. So she realizes that that's not her baby. Her baby died. And it's really Carrie's baby. I'm like going, so she really just took her own kid. And you never in your life thought you just thought she was just crazy. No, she was a mom, and she was getting her kid back. And it's literally a turn I wasn't expecting. I'm like, no. So then Peter, she has all this proof, and he literally guilts her into not saying anything. He says they'll take him away. And I mean, both his parents are dead. His grandfather's dead. His grandmother's still alive. But would they have taken him if she'd been honest? Probably not. But he convinces her. So she's scared to death of him, as she should be, because he's manipulated his siblings. Oh, that's a whole other story, how he manipulated them since they were young. And she knows this. And how he's manipulated this whole situation. And when Carrie was there, Peter went after her to shut her up. He basically shot her. Wasn't in self-defense, but he claims it was. Because when Carrie got there, she accidentally shot Colin, who was, Lisa's boyfriend and Marissa's partner. It was totally accidental because, again, he went for the gun. It went off, as it always does. But he definitely was going after, and she knew that. Marissa knew that she killed her on purpose. So he just scared her into not saying anything. And then she's talking to Jenny, and they don't really see it, but they come up with she knows she got to get rid of him. Somehow he's just got to go. So he apparently has an allergy, which I don't know if that was even spoken about before, but Marissa eats something with something he's allergic to, and then she kisses him real deep, and he gets an allergic reaction. So he does have his EpiPen, but she swapped out the EpiPen to an expired EpiPen, so the EpiPen didn't work. And so he was looking for his other stuff was in the car, and she took it out. So he literally dies in front of them because he had an anaphylactic reaction. And everybody at the luncheon is just staring. Nobody's getting upset. They're just staring. I thought it was interesting. But the detective, he pieces everything together. And he goes to her and he tells her, and he said, normally I don't look the other way. He goes, but I'm happy. This case is closed. So he knew exactly what happened. He pieced it all together about Carrie being the mother of Milo. And it's just, like, how smart is he? We need more detectives like him. Because I'm like, yeah, it's like he's piecing everything together. So it all falls into place. In the end, it's just Marissa and Jenny watching their boys play. But that's why it's all her fault. Like, she felt Marissa because she had this, highfalutin job. She needed to have a nanny. So it was all her fault that this kid got kidnapped because she should have been with him. That's, I guess, the reason they call it all her fault. That's why I kept thinking, what is it? It took me a while to figure that one out. But, I mean, just because you have all that doesn't mean, your kid's allowed to get kidnapped, I don't, that part. And at one point they were having a press conference and they made her look terrible. I'm like, this woman's kid was kidnapped. Like, oh, but is that the world we live in today? Probably. So it's very realistic that they would turn the tables on this poor girl. But yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, if you don't have Peacock, I don't think it's streaming anywhere else that I know of. But it's definitely on Peacock. And we get Peacock on our cable. It's included. So I was happy with that. But yeah, it's all her fault. And there is, Dakota Fanning is the only person you might know. She plays Jenny. That's why I call she's a real big name. Thinking, oh, it's going to be her. It's always the person you least expect, as always. But the thing of it was, you just didn't know, how it all intertwined, and how just one simple thing like that, because when they had the car accident, Carrie's car didn't flip, but Marissa's and Peter's. I'm surprised he even got up and walked out of that car. I mean, literally, it spins. You're like, oh my gosh. And I guess because he's privileged, so he looked at her thinking, that's a piece of crap car. I'm going to take your kid. And yet when Carrie and her boyfriend saw the kid, she said, it looks just like my dad. So they knew that was their kid. And she claimed she kept trying to tell the nurse that she heard him cry. And she, I guess, recognized. And they're like, oh, no, honey, he's gone, because they had no idea. It's sad, and yet, Carrie, who is the person, who, is really the hero in a sense, is trying to get her kid back, but you kind of don't like her through most of the show, and then at the end you're just like, oh my God, you just do. Marissa was in the dark. I mean, you don't dislike her. I mean, you just like Peter. Yeah, Peter, he's just not nice. Controlling. Well, then I said, I give it 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was hooked. I didn't want to stop watching it. Obviously, I finished it in a few days. So you can get a 5 out of 5 stars from me. So check it out on Peacock. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, come back and let me know what you think, because I absolutely loved it. If you have any recommendations for something to watch, please leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new here and not hit that subscribe button, join your Discoveries with D. It's the unhinged channel of Dish with D. So we're just talking about fun stuff here and different things and anything but healthy lifestyle living. So subscribe. It is free, and I will see you in tomorrow's Vlogmas. Bye-bye for now, my fabulous lovelies.